Going back to my interview with Andy, he talked about in the early days, a lot of people thought that he was crazy starting supplement superstores.
Well, he is crazy, but that's different.
And I want your perspective as his brother, because I'm sure that you want the best for him in life. What did you think the path he had chose whenever he started supplement superstores with Chris?
Well, I think there's there is before he took it serious and then after he took it serious. Kind of like, BC and AD, right?
Yeah.
So, when they were doing it for beer money, it really was a joke.
Yeah.
Like, he'll tell you that. And I think, just like anything else that Andrew does, like if he puts his mind to it, the path will be paved. And, when he finally figured out that, like, hey, this thing isn't just going to magically be something, he's going to have to build it. He's going to have to shape it. It started to grow legs and take life. And, he had to come here and move in with my dad. And, he went from being in college and had 2 stores to coming up here and, building out the St. Louis marketplace. He had to take it serious. And I think, on the front side, you look at it and you're like, hey, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. And on the back side, you say, all right, dude, you're kicking ass. So there's like two perspectives, because I was literally in day one. And so, but I've seen all the stores. I mean, I used to go hang all the shelves and put the floors in and do all the, like literally set the counters and stock the shelves. Like I would do all those things with my dad and Chris. And so when I tell you I've seen it all, I've been a part of the entire ride. And the front side I don't want to say it was a joke, but it was a joke, right? Wasn't applying himself. The backside, I would say 2006, 7, maybe 7, 8, something like that. The times all kind of blur together.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things when you get old. Absolutely magical, because it was like, I know how hard it is to build a team from zero, and to watch him do it, and build that team from 0 to 5, 0 to 10 people. It's tough, man. Like, it's a grind. And like, most people are not cut out for that, because those people will, those early people, they're going to doubt you. They'll cross you. They'll stab you. They'll leave you. And it's a lot to take down as a young entrepreneur. And so when you watch somebody that you care for go through the journey, it's hard. It's hard to see. But then you look back and that's what gives you all the pride, and just like any other great team in life, you have to have somebody who's just crazy enough to go out on the plank and get shot and get, and stand up for it. Yep. And I think, both him and I were blessed with a dad who would give us that autonomy and really guidance. Say, hey, you need to be that guy. You go out there, you'll be all right. Like those shots, they're not as bad as the regular person makes them out to be. And because he had done it, he was able to give us that perspective, and that gift of perspective he gave us now gave us the opportunity to be here, and it's just simply being out there, and be willing to take the licks from people, quite honestly. And there's a post I wrote about this, there's a reason there's 50 people on the football field and 50,000 people in the crowd. Mm-hmm. It's not for everybody, and to be one of those 50 out in the field, like, you got to be cut a little bit differently, and they're going to call you crazy. They're going to call you crazy because you're training, on the nights and the weekends, and you don't do what they do. Well, as humans, we don't like people who don't do what we do. They're odd. Okay, well, you're odd because you're 22 and you have a podcast. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Does it mean you should quit? No. Fuck no.
Almost did a few times.
Yeah, you lean into it. You know what I mean? Because guess what? In 4, 5, 6 years, I don't know how big your following is now, but in 4, 5, 6 years, somebody else is going to start a podcast. We have 6, 7, 8 years experience on them. You've already been through, what sound machine and what camera do you use and what microphones do you use. You've already been through it. It's experience, right? Yeah. So there's a learning lesson of time in life